Grand afternoon. I'm Naimah, and once again, we do appreciate you for joining us this Saturday afternoon. The second Saturday of the month, we like to dedicate to achieving world peace. And one of the reasons why is because we're connected to a global peace organization, which is connected to a number of other peace achieving coalitions. And this is a time where our world is critically taking a look at where we need to go from here. There are many who are frightened because of things we have seen recently in the news. Why are we experiencing such distress? Well, there is a reason. We are about to embark on a major transformation. And in order for us to transform, we need to experience the contrast against which we must struggle. Just as a caterpillar inside a cocoon has to struggle to get out. And the process of struggling is what makes the emerging butterfly have strong wings with to push and then later fly. So we are in the process of struggling against what appears to be dark forces, but that is only so that we may emerge into the light. There are many efforts around the world, but one particular effort we're going to take a look at is a global gathering for prayer for peace, and how that will energetically change the atmosphere and empower those who have been working for peace to see the transformation within the people and among those in communities that are working to make a difference. We'll be right back, and we'll take a look at some of the local efforts toward peace, the little things that make a big difference. We'll be right back after this acknowledgement. And those who wish to participate in this conversation can give us a call, 727-731-5192, because as always, we enjoy hearing from you. So we'll be right back in just one quick moment, and we invite you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We appreciate your participation today. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
Yes, this is the female solution. And as always, we appreciate the men among us who are striving to make a difference. It's the little things that matter. The people who are suffering, the people who are struggling, the people who have been deprived from basic necessities. Well, we want to once again give kudos to our Monday morning mindfulness host, Zelda, who is out in the trenches and is reminding us that we as a nation have no business having people who are unhoused when there is so much space, so many buildings, so many structures empty, and so much food going to waste. And so she has risen to the levels of a ministry in what she does in feeding the unhoused. So let's take a look at work being done in honor of her brother, Douglas Robinson, who was among those in the unhoused community. And now, in his honor, she feeds those who are hungry and unhoused and gives services that they need to keep them alive. And these are the little things that individuals can do to make a difference. And we'll be back after this to talk more about how we as individuals can participate in the process of saving lives by simply contributing a meal. We'll be right back.
In which we're doing this documentary for Douglas Robinson, your death will not be in vain.
He was a heck of a great dude. And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill.
Yes, there are people who are losing their homes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill. There are people who are losing their homes because they have lost a job. There are people who are losing their homes because they simply don't have a way to earn a living. And there are people who are losing their homes because perhaps someone else is taking over a building where they live and has chosen to raise the rent beyond what they can pay. This is the cruelty that we experience in a world of plenty. There are some who are suffering needlessly. There's the cruelty of denying people the ability to earn what they need in order to pay what is required for basic comfort. There's the cruelty in not sharing. When we have so much, we're actually throwing away the excess. There's the cruelty of criminalizing people when they don't have money to buy nice clothing. And so they're treated badly wherever they go if they look perhaps worn and torn. There's the cruelty of meanness that we have allowed to be a part of our society. And it's time for it to change. But it can only change when we change what's inside of us. And we can only change what's inside of us when we recognize that what's inside of us is not who we are. We are a reflection of the loving energy of creation. That's who we are. Until we receive indoctrination that says we only matter if we have money. We only matter if we're physically pleasing to look at. We only matter if we have impressive titles or skills. When we treat people as if they're garbage to be thrown away, then we are not expressing the truth of who we are. And when we don't express that, we create suffering. It's not enough to point fingers at someone in positions of authority, because whoever is in authority with our consent. No one can take over a country. No one can take over an organization. No one can take over anything. We're each individual's sovereign beings with the ability to judge whether or not we trust someone's leadership, whether or not we agree with someone's direction. And no one has the power to oppress us without our consent. It's a collective decision to allow mistreatment, or a collective decision to stop mistreatment. We can stop mistreatment without violence, because energetically, we influence the energy of every being in our midst. We are energy beings encased in a body, but that doesn't change the energy. Everywhere you go, you are energetically affecting the people in your midst. You're either bringing positive energy or you're not bringing positive energy. And when you bring positive energy, it's expressed in your thoughts, words, and actions. So you're affecting every moment of every day, every individual whom you encounter and those you don't encounter, because you're adding to the energy of the entire planet, which adds to the entire energy of the universe. So with your thoughts, you are in fact affecting the universe. When we're aware of this, then we become aware of how we are energetically affecting the people closest to us, starting with our families, the people right in our households. From there, we emerge and we affect all of those whose lives we touch. With this awareness, we can make a conscious decision to do no harm. That is the one universal law: do no harm. So how is it that people have become so harmful in the way they treat others? Well, we appreciate those who are joining us today. And of course, as our dear sister Deborah says, Mother Earth is not owned by anyone. And that is true. And we'll talk about that later as well, as we point you to an emerging system which acknowledges that Earth is not owned by anyone, and we always have the power to share. We have the power to live beyond a monetary system that shuts out many people and forces people to suffer. We have the power to change that. But first, we have to change the energy that we're being influenced by. And that's the energy of fear, the belief that we must capitulate to meanness. And it is not necessary, because we always have the power to create a loving, peaceful society based on how we're choosing to treat others. And we have the power to choose to treat others with kindness. There are many who are choosing to make changes in their lives. And as a result, they are affecting the lives of others. And as we make these choices, we see a ripple effect around the world. There is a call for a global movement for peace. And because we are one world community connected by this amazing system of the internet, we can talk to each other every day. And we're doing that. So now we're going to take a quick break and come back and talk to you about joining the global movement for peace, using the energetic means that we have and we've always had, so that we can see a shift in what will happen in the future based on what we're choosing to do with our energy. Right now, we want to greet our global family that is connected with us all around the world, as we remember that we are now and have always been one. So let us greet our global family, those people who are listening to us and watching us from all around the world, as we're experiencing this transformation in our world. We're experiencing the birth of a new earth. And those of us who have had children, we know that labor pain can be intense. But this is in fact what we are experiencing now. The labor pains of a new earth being birthed. And when we come back, we'll talk about the process that we will be going through before this new earth emerges. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, ciao. In Egypt, ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, akwaba. In Nigeria, peleo. In South Africa, sawubona. In Senegal, nangadef. In Kenya, jambo. In Israel, shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you. Yes, we do want to talk to you, and we want you to talk to us too. We are live on the Female Solution Global broadcast, and every day of the week, we are here to bring you information, inspiration, and motivation from those inspired human beings who are using the power of the internet to reach out and educate and inspire and inform. We have a wonderful team of hosts, and it's exciting because we are expanding and growing. You can reach us on the on-air radio network and simply go to onaireverywhere.com and click on the on-air radio network, and you will have an opportunity to join our broadcasts wherever you are in the world. The amazing thing about being connected is that when we talk to each other, we're discovering that what we have been told about each other is often untrue. And because the lies that we have been told have kept us separate, we have operated in fear of each other. And there's no need to fear because we are all the same, all beings of light, all expressions of the divine. And when we can see that in each other, we no longer fear. And our dear sister from the Higher Learning TV show says, each one teach one. This is a solution, but we must all be on one accord to make it happen. Absolutely. And you can, of course, watch the Higher Learning TV show on the local YouTube channel, as well as if it on CAN TV 19. And you can also watch right here on the Female Solution every Monday morning for Monday Morning Mindfulness, 7 a.m. That's Central Time. And wherever you are in the world, just adjust your time. Of course, we've got our sister Deborah on every third Saturday, 12 noon, showing us how to move around the world as we travel. We are a global family, and as such, it's critical that we end the fear among us and we learn the power of the loving spirit that we are to heal the hurt and to do as our sister Zelda does with the support of our sister Deborah and many others, to reach out to those who are in need and simply share. There are those who are doing the work of peace. They are doing the work of transforming the hearts of people. And they're reminding us that our religious scriptures, whatever they may be, whatever religion we're following,
we have all been taught, we've all been urged to help each other. We've all been urged to love, to share, to help, to teach, to heal. There's no reason for conflict. And yet, what is happening right now is some of the most intense conflict. Now, we know what happened recently, a shooting that was captured on video, very traumatizing. We know invasions happening, very traumatizing. We're going to take a look at some of the responses. But before that, we want to bring you a message from those who are seeking to change the energy of fear that these incidences created. Fear is false evidence appearing real. The false evidence is that you are powerless. None of us are powerless. We are eternal beings, ever existing, ever living. No one has power over anyone. No one owns anything on the planet. It is here for all of us to share. When we live by that consciousness, then no one can make us fear. The earth right now is a challenging place to live. Earth is a school. And if you've ever been to a school where you've got some students that are brilliant and academically prepared and doing well in their classes, and then you may have some students that have some challenges. Maybe they have learning disabilities. Maybe they have physical challenges. And then you have students that are maladjusted. Maybe they come from homes where they didn't get enough love, and so they're disruptive. And you have that mix in the school. So if you've ever been in a classroom where you've got a mixture of different kinds of students, some that are doing well, some that are extremely disruptive, it's challenging. And there's a point where you might think that the goal is to perhaps ban the so-called bad children from the school, kick them out. But here on earth, our challenge is to overcome the disruption of those students in this earth school who are energetically creating a disturbance. That's what this school is about. How do you maintain your peace and create peace despite the disruptors, despite those who are energetically operating in a way that causes suffering? How do we love those who seem to be spewing hate? And yet it's the power of love that transforms. And this is the message being given by the Global Peace Organization, Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light, HWPL, as it prepares to initiate a global prayer gathering in which energetically those who believe in the power of prayer are going to gather at an appointed time and put the energy of love into the atmosphere, praying for a transformation of those who are misguided, praying for peace for those who are living in distressed areas, praying for a change, praying for a transformation, praying for an inspiration, praying for the new earth that is about to be born. This event, to be held this month, January 24th, will change the energy and change the hearts of the participants and inspire those who have the capacity to do those little acts of service that could possibly change lives in their midst. They will be inspired to do so. And we will see the change in our environment. It is challenging. And yet, that's what the Earth School is about. Overcoming the challenge of the disruptive students of Earth who are unable to find the light within themselves. And so we who understand must bring the light. We're going to take another quick break and come back with some of the statements of those who are striving to be light bearers. As we remember those among us who have had an impact on the earth and are about to be celebrated and emulated so that we truly can move toward world peace. We'll be right back after this quick break. And as always, we invite you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back in a moment after this.
Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair.
Hey family, this is Charles Humphrey of MCH Publishing, and I'm here with Ashada, and we at the Soulful Chicago Book what?
This is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, slamming.
We getting down in Hyde Park. Just run it down, my sister. Just tell us, for the people, a little bit about what we're doing here today and why.
You know, this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, and this month is very important. I feel like we don't give it the type of recognition that it needs, but beyond that, I do all things literary, and we have so many ancestors that have taken a tradition of writing and done great things. Well, we have those of us that are carrying on that tradition, and nobody knows about them until now. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is allowing us to tell our stories according to ourselves for our own benefit. And it's just beautiful. I mean, she could have been here today if you wasn't here, but if you were, it's been amazing. People came in consistently, children, and we have children's authors, we have nonfiction authors, we have fiction authors. This is really good. And it's about taking our own power in our own hands and doing what we do on the literary tip, though.
Right.
I got to work, but I can't help it. Everything going too smooth. Now I just about bring my Africans in like this. Bring in the Africans.
And we are back. And of course, we remind you to get ready to attend the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, February 15th. And it's right here in Chicago. And there are so many authors who are bringing works that inspire, inform, and motivate. There are many who have been inspired to make a change based on the need for us to put forth a different message. And one of the things that we wish to do is to influence our children. It's necessary for children in these times to learn self-mastery. And of course, we want to give a great shout out to our Thursday morning host, Mushepsu, whose books have been an inspiration for young people, learning the process of self-mastery. Because this is where it starts. When you teach your children how to master themselves, then you teach them to be a positive expression on the earth. So let's take a look at one of her works, teaching how to be a young ninja.
Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to take a breath. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to have a rest. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to do his best. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to ace his test. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to trust himself. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to choose good food. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool, teaches him to see his best. Mommy teaches the young ninja, teaches him to be cool. Mommy teaches the young ninja.
Yes, you can teach your children self-mastery, and they make a difference when they are in a gathering of other children. This is where it starts. We are about to celebrate the birthday of one of those among us who was a spiritual leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And his birthday, celebrated across America and now worldwide, reminds us that the energy of peace is what transforms lives. So with the energy of war that is permeating our society right now, what we're experiencing is the contrast. And you learn through contrast. So in order for us to capitalize on what we want, we're experiencing what we don't want. What we don't want is the violation of rights of people. What we don't want is the invasion of other people's countries where they should feel safe and secure and protected and provided for. What we don't want are acts of violence against children or seniors or anyone who has a right to a space on the earth and a right to all the earth provides. We don't want that. So what we observe in the behavior of those who are assuming positions of authority is the behavior of disruptive children who have not learned inner peace. And so this contrast helps us to pinpoint what we are now creating in terms of a new society that's based on higher principles. And it takes the collective action, but first the collective thought that this that we're experiencing is what we don't want. In today's broadcast of the Rainbow Push Coalition, the organization founded by Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr., Congressman Jonathan Jackson spoke, among others, about what is happening in our world today and how it's a signal that we have to make some changes with our voices and our votes. And of course, we have the power to do that. And it's time for us to choose to use it. Let's take a look at a few of the statements made regarding illegal wars when empires overstep and how we don't want to experience this in our midst. Congressman Jonathan Jackson at the Rainbow Push Coalition today.
Thank you. Honored to be back here in the house of the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson, my father. Dad, if you're watching right now, we love and appreciate you. Look forward to you coming back here to your rightful place. Thank my brother Yusef Jackson and young Stevie Thurston. I just flew in from Washington, D.C., and thank you so much, Rainbow Push. As I tried to get my remarks together today, I said, what will we discuss? Should we discuss Venezuela? You want to talk about the $4 trillion worth of rare earth materials underneath Greenland? Do you want to talk about the threats that he's imposed and directed towards Colombia? Do you want to talk about Marco Rubio having an end game to try to make the Cuban government collapse? Do you want to talk about the president's threats to President Sheinbaum in Mexico? Should we follow up on what's going on in the Ukraine and Putin's relationship with Donald Trump that's not altogether clear? Should we talk about the trillions of dollars, the $60 billion that the Chinese have in investments in infrastructures and communications and telecommunications, as well as oil refining in Venezuela, or Putin's investment in Venezuela, or the Iranian investments in Venezuela? I would tell you the president is flooding the zone. This is a strategy, this is a tactic to make people confused. But we're going to stay focused on what's real. As we prepare our hearts and our minds for this holy season, it's still the season of Advent, and we think about the birth of the Reverend Martin Luther King, a young man that was given as a gift through us to the United States of America and a gift to the world. We thank God. Let the record show that we can do more than just honor Reverend Martin Luther King in words. But more importantly, we should be mindful of the debt that we owe to Reverend Martin Luther King. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. If you can, please remember to call him Reverend Martin Luther King. Your doctorate is your thesis. Anyone can write a thesis. But to be a reverend means that you've had a calling from God. And there is something that I am convinced the powers that be do not want to acknowledge, not just his humanity, but his divinity. That it'd be too much to say an African-American man had been inspired by God and was indeed a founding father of the new America that we all cherish. Everyone in this room, the people across this nation, and indeed people around this world are indebted to Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
Absolutely. The world is indebted to Dr. King, and he will be celebrated on the day of his birth, January 15th, but also there's a national holiday held every third Monday in January. So on the 19th, there's celebration. And at Rainbow Push, the celebration will be from the 17th to the 19th at the national headquarters. And the celebration will expand to give people an opportunity to perform service. People will get an opportunity to do that which enhances the lives of those who are suffering. This day of service in honor of Dr. King is what our lives must be about every day. And when we do this, we see the transformation among those who have lost their way and are disruptive. We're going to take one last break and come back and give you an opportunity to be a part of a global spiritual event so that you can use your energy to make a difference. We'll be right back after this last break, so we invite you to stay with us.
Welcome to Master Force with Mushim Suit. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
What's up, guys? It's Asada, the host of the Gathering of the Griots podcast, part of the Female Solution. Want you to join us every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And guess what we do? We interview authors of the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. The books, the experiences, the lifestyles, all of it with fervor. So be there right on the Soulful Chicago Book Fair YouTube page or on the Female Solution Facebook page. We look forward to having you and all our literary essence. Peace.
Leaders of nonprofits empowering worlds. Let's go.
But the vision that God gave me, I felt that it was time for me to step out and work on the vision that God gave me.
We need look no further. We have a unique voice. We have a unique talent pool.
And we are back, and you are watching the Female Solution Global Radio TV show, Global Broadcast. Yes, we are always reminding our viewers and those who join us every day that this is a broadcast which includes TV, internet radio, as well as telephone and internet TV. So you can join this message broadcasts all across the world. Well, we have been a part of the Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light organization. And this is an organization that is global. And every month, this organization provides a dialogue where faith leaders from the many different faiths come to share their teachings and to remind the rest of the world community that underlying all of this is the one power that makes all of this possible. The creative energy of the universe that we call God, the source, whatever it is we identify, but we are all expressions of that one power. So when we reach out to connect energetically with that which we all are, the one power of the universe, we can put our energy into raising the vibration. We're all vibrating energy, and at the higher vibrations is the energy of love, the energy of peace, the energy of oneness. And this is what we invoke when we have collective prayer. And so, because the prayers of those that are distressed from the recent events that have disturbed us in our nation and in our world, HWPL has organized a global prayer event to include those who are adherents of the teachings of the one we know as Jesus, Yeshua. And the event is intended to put forth energetically the vibration of love and peace. How do you transform a world? You start with the energy. And this is what this event is all about. So last night on our show, hosted by host Tinta Strasberg, On the Case with Tinta Strasberg, her guest, attorney Barbara Arnwine, expressed the importance of us taking responsibility when it comes to selecting leadership. So this is a collective action. And if you are responsible, you participate, because non-participation means you will receive that which has been manifested by those that may not have your best interest at heart. So what we're experiencing right now is the outcome of decisions made by those that have other kinds of values. And now we're all seeing when the values that are not love are dominant, then those who need help don't get help. Those who need compassion don't get compassion. Those who need us to share don't get their portion. So we who are aware have a responsibility to participate in the collective selection of people in positions of responsibility. That's what a government is, responsibility, not power, not authority over, but responsibility to make sure there is sharing. So this is one way that we are all collectively contributing to what we're currently experiencing. And our next step, the greatest step, is to contribute energetically to that which we desire to experience. And if we are aware of how we're affecting the lives around us, then we make a decision to put forth positive energy by the words we speak, which are a reflection of the thoughts we think, and ultimately are reflections of the actions we take. So we invite you to take an action and be a part of an energetic, collective activity, which will be held January 24th. And for those who are wondering how to go about participating, we want you to contact those who are creating a movement that can change the energy of the planet. This is what we're all here to do. And if you are willing to be a part of a global prayer effort, then we invite you to be a part of that which could change what we experience on planet Earth. One of the important things that are happening is this event is going to be shared by many who are all around the world. And we certainly do want you to be a part of it. So as we enter a new year with hope and expectation, HWPL is honored to invite you to the second Global Christian United Prayer Gathering, where Christian leaders from diverse denominations and nations will unite as one body in prayer. And this Global Christian United Prayer Gathering will be Saturday, January 24th And the time is 5 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So wherever you are in the world, adjust your time so that you can participate in this event. And you can lend your energy to a collective mind for peace. And that is Saturday, January 24, 2026. The time is 5 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And wherever you are in the world, you can adjust your time so that you can be a part. This will be on Zoom. And to get that link, we're going to put it at the bottom of the screen so that you can be a part of this event, as you certainly want to add your energy to something so powerful that it can make a difference. So to RSVP, we want you to be able to be a part of this process. And we're excited because this is one of the things that can make a difference in our nation and in our world. And for those who are involved in this process, we invite you, as we pull this link, and give you a chance to participate. We look forward to having you be a part of that which can change our world one heart at a time. So we look forward to you. And we hope you do, in fact, RSVP, respond, because this is a chance for us to change what we're experiencing. Change what we are experiencing in the world and in the hearts of the people. And so today, we ask that you get prepared. And if you are willing to take this first step and unite with the minds of those who are perhaps ready to change the world in which we live. First, let's start with a prayer. And next, let's begin to organize with those of like mind to select those who are worthy of being selected for leadership. That's our goal. I'm Naimah Latif. Continue to join us every day. You can go to thefemalesolution.com and you'll have an opportunity to watch us every day of the week, twice a day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Time, Saturdays and Sundays, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Central Time, and all of our many streaming platforms. Just go to thefemalesolution.com. If you are remembering, you can connect energetically with those who are putting forth a global prayer for peace. Until next time, continue to shine your light. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.